Sandy from Quilters Attic Sewing Center in Pine Bush, New York. Today, I'm not going to tell you about anything to do with sewing, but something that's going to keep your sewing machine nice and clean. We have this great little vacuum here. I'm going to show you all about it. It's great to keep all the lint and dust out of your machine. You all know that your thread and your fabric and your batting, while high quality, produce less lint. They all do produce some lint. So you want to keep your machine running in great condition. You don't want any dust to get into the computer components, down into the power supply at the base of your machine. And you want to keep it running as best as you can for as long as you can. So I have an older sewing machine here because my new one is super neat and clean. So this one's a little older, has a little dust in it, has a front loading bobbin case, so the lint really does accumulate in there and you can see it. So I chose this machine to show you how well this little vacuum is going to work. This is the Simplicity F1, also known as the Flash. It is very little. You can see how small it is. It has a 16-foot cord, so you don't have to worry about it running out of battery power. You also don't need to move your machine right next to an outlet. This cord is typically longer than any sewing machine cord. So this can go across your sewing room or wherever you're going to use it. It doesn't just work for sewing machines. I have a lamp here that has a very dusty, pulled it out of the closet, a very dusty lampshade. I'm going to show you how well that works. In addition to the little vacuum cleaner itself, it does have a hose that you can use. So you can plug this in, add some attachments, use it more like a traditional vacuum. And you also can just plug the attachments right into the end. Works a little more like the old school dust busters. So it has a long, skinny wand. You can attach a little brush to it. It has this, which is one of my favorite tools, just a little brush end. And last, it has the upholstery end, so it's a little bit larger. So those are the different items we have. It has a removable dust cup and it has a filter. So to open it, it's very, very simple. You're just going to push this button. And it opens right up. It has a filter inside that can easily be replaced, and it has your dust cup, which I did clean out before I used it. This is not a new vacuum. We have been using this. To put it back together, you're just going to put the filter back in. You'll see there's a flat edge at the bottom here, goes along the flat edge of the dust cup. Press that in. The little hooks at the bottom, hook them right in, and it snaps together. So it works very easily. That filter can be replaced. Since I just got this vacuum a couple months ago, I don't think I'm ready to replace the filter. So I just took a paper towel and dusted it all off. So I want to show you how well it works. So I'm going to uncoil the cord, plug it in, and we'll get started. Before we get started, I want you to look inside the top of this machine. When I lift up and my thread is normally in here, you can see there's lots of fuzzies in there. Some of it's fuzzies from the thread, some of it's little snips of fabric as I'm cutting things. And this machine, while it's a front loading, not a drop-in, you can use it on both styles. But when you open this, you'll see lots of little dust bunnies and fuzzies in there. These are things you want to keep clear of your machine. A lot of machines have bobbin sensors, let you know when your bobbin thread's running low. If there's a lot of dust in here, those sensor beams cannot connect with each other to indicate to you that your bobbin is running low. So the cleaner you keep your machine, the better it's going to run for you and the longer. So let's get started with that. Before we begin vacuuming, I'm going to attach the hose because I think it'll be a little easier just to leave the vacuum sitting on the table and vacuuming out the top of my machine. This is the end I like to use for the sewing machine to start to get the big stuff. Do you see how clean that is? I didn't really do much, cleaned all the dust out. So this machine really sucks well. It gets all those dust bunnies out very easily. When I go to my bobbin area, I can keep the same attachment, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to tilt the machine back so you can see one more time, open it up, and we're going to suck that dust out. This machine is dust-free right now. No dust in the top, no dust here. This does not replace your annual maintenance at your sewing machine. dealership because there's a lot of dust that you cannot get. Lots of it goes down in the tension area where your threads are passing through. A lot of it, while we cleaned a lot of dust out of here, it does get back into the machine where you can't get it. But doing this frequently makes it a lot better on your machine. You don't have dust in there binding up any gears or getting into the computer part, shorting out any circuit boards. So this really is a great little vacuum. I'm going to also show you how nicely it works on this lamp because this lamp is a little dusty. So let's move the sewing machine and work on the lamp now. Now you probably can't tell how dusty this lampshade is because the whole thing is dusty, but once we use the F1 flash vacuum to clean it off, you're going to notice just how dusty it was. So I am going to attach the crevice tool, and I have removed the bristle end that just pulls off. So now I'm going to take this, vacuum my lampshade, and I'll show you how well it works. Can you see the difference? I just vacuumed this earlier. I vacuumed this just now. This section has not been done yet. So while the lampshade looked fairly clean when we started, once you get the vacuum in there and you can tell this really does work. I also want to show you, now that I've cleaned a few things, just what the inside of the dust cup looks like so you know what's normal. I'm going to remove the hose, and I'm also going to unplug it so it doesn't accidentally turn on while I have it in pieces. Now that it's unplugged, I'm going to push the release button right up here and tilt the dust cup forward, and that will show us what's inside. So here it looks fairly clean because things went through the filter into the dust cup. I'm going to remove, and still the dust cup's not super dirty because I only used it for a second, but you can see, and I'm going to make a mess here on my table, but you can see just how much dust came off. I usually just take a square of toilet paper just because it's a nice easy size, and I just brush and you'll see just how much dust is coming off. I would do this over a trash can. I would do it outside, but usually it just comes right off. It's super easy. Like I said, I do this over the trash can. I wouldn't do it here sitting on a table. This is defeating the purpose, but I did want you to see how much dust it does pick up. This can be replaced. This you can just wash, dry super well before you use it again, but can be washed with warm water, dried super well. I usually let it air dry a little while before I put the filter back in. And then reattach the bottom and the top. Ready to use again, plug in, and you can use it again. So I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you'll come on over to Quilter's Attic Sewing Center and pick up your F1 flash vacuum today, or order it from our website at quiltersattic.com. You'll see it right under the vacuum section in the Shop Now area. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.